Hey, what's up, beautiful people? So I received this message, and it's pretty much talking about a girl who was dating guy number 1, then went to date guy number 2. A bunch of stuff happened in the middle. She kept bouncing back and forth between from guy number 1 and number 2, and she ended up staying with guy number 2. Now, guy number 2
Which one came first?
Number 1. Okay, that's why he's number 1.
Okay, got it.
So she left number 1. Number 1 is completely out of this picture now.
Okay.
And she's been dating number 2 for about like a year. And number 2 now is a little bit hurt by her bouncing back and forth between both of them. That he now.
So there's been some bouncing back and forth in the past.
In the past, yeah.
So and guy number 2 is mad at her for having bounced back to guy number 1 in the past.
Yeah, so she dated guy number 1, and then she dumped what is wrong with me? So she dumped guy number 1, and then she went to guy number 2.
Okay.
While being with guy number 2, guy number 1 came in and said, hey, you know what? I want you back, girl. And then she's like, okay, and she went back to guy number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, so she kind of left guy number 2 hanging out to dry like twice.
As simple as that. Like she was just like, you want me back? All right, I'm gonna be back.
Well, I think what happened was, the way she explained it is, with guy number 1, she had like more of a connection. They were both pretty similar in like attitude, and they had the same outlook in life. But he had a lot of family issues, and unfortunately he had like drug abuse issues as well. So she was like, you know what? I don't need this in my life right now. Guy number 2 is a lot more stable, so I'm gonna go with him. And I feel, based off of the description that she gave me in the message, that she made the right choice at that time.
Okay.
So now, fast forward to the present day, guy number 2 is still upset with that, and he kind of has like this grudge against her, and he's like, hey, freaking A, like, you know what, you can't wear any makeup, like, I don't want you dressing this type of way, I don't want you hanging out with your boyfriend. So he became very controlling, because now I think she kind of gave him a reason to be more insecure than what he already is. I feel like her boyfriend now is like super insecure about himself, and because she bounced around on him in the past, he's using that against her.
Well, it kind of seems like that the girl kind of just used and abused guy number 2, because she was with him, and I don't know if she knows this, but in the rules of relationships, you can't just bounce off of someone and bounce back whenever you want to. First of all, that's really, really nice of guy number 2 to even take her back in.
Definitely.
That's kudos to that dude. But she kind of fucked up bouncing back to guy number 1, especially if she knew that guy was a whole bag of problems. Like, he has drug problems, family problems, and definitely had a bunch of other shit that he needed to take care of.
I don't know. That's just a thing that girls do. They feel like they can change this guy and they can make him better. And in some cases, that is the case.
Yeah, but you can't leave a guy dry, like hanging dry over there, like he's bouncing back and forth.
I mean, definitely. I don't know the details as to how she went about it. If she was like, hey, yo, you know what, deuces. But, you know, she did share that she did help guy number 2 lose his virginity. Like, they slept together. So I see that there's more of an attachment.
She helped him. She's like, oh,
well, okay,
I need some help.
Okay, I worded it weird, but like, they pretty much had sex together. So they were together.
Shit, how else are we supposed to have sex apart? Hey, I'm gonna fuck myself in this room, you fuck yourself in this room, and then I'm gonna wrap my vaginal juices on the wall, and you can rub your sperm on the wall, and we'll call it sex.
Yeah, we'll call it sex. Anyway, so she while she was with guy number 2, he lost his virginity to her, which makes things a little bit more complicated. I don't know if it works like this for guys, but I know when a girl loses virginity to a dude, she has like this crazy attachment to him in the beginning, I guess.
There's both type of guys. There's guys that are like, you know, I can't wait to lose my virginity, I'm gonna fuck anything that lets me. And there's other dudes that are kind of sentimental too. There's no right or wrong. I mean, there's just different types of people out there.
Okay. And around the time that he lost his virginity to her was when guy number 1 came back into the picture, and she started talking to him again.
Ooh.
Not like behind his back, not in that way, but she was just like, oh, what? You need my help? Oh man, fine, sure, I'll be your ear. Let's meet up and we'll just talk. And that's what they did.
That's kind of dangerous though, because I don't know which type of virginity dude this guy is, but if he's the sentimental type and he just lost his virginity to this girl, and this was all like, oh man, this is the love of my life, I gave her my cherry or whatever.
To get some cherries?
I don't know, maybe fucking, I don't know, strawberry or whatever, and then she's now talking with her ex.
Yeah, it's kind of harsh.
And exes, it's kind of sensitive, especially it's the one right before you.
Right.
When you're talking about like, hey, you know,
like
my,
5 years ago.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the one right before you,
Yeah.
and then you're like, hey, I'm talking to the guy that used to fuck me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's oh yeah, that hurts.
That is, you know, because you don't even know if she cleaned all the sperm out of her vag yet, and then now.
What are you talking about? Anyway.
So there's like double sperms in there.
Okay, anyway, yeah, I mean, it's super sensitive because, you know, the new guy might be thinking, like, shit, like, am I her rebound? Like, is she just using me to get back at this dude? Like, there's so many things that this guy could already start thinking, but I don't think it makes it right for the new guy number 2, to be putting her down like that either. Yes, she had her mistakes and she did bounce around back and forth, but they've been together for a year now. And really, dude, like, I feel like he needs to get over it. If he can't get over it, then seriously, he shouldn't be in a relationship with her.
This is one of those situations where I feel like the girl not only puts herself in bad situations, she also attracts bad situations to her. Because first of all, when she bounced around like that and created a hot pot of sperm in her vag,
not to say that she was sleeping around with both. Stop it.
No.
You're creating.
No.
a scenario.
I'm not saying she's doing it at the same time, but I'm saying the sperm from the other guy.
The sperm doesn't matter.
Hasn't fell out yet.
Be quiet.
Okay.
The sperm doesn't matter.
Well,
sorry, this is someone's life you're talking.
I know, but I mean, shit. If you're asking us, You
That's
could have
the
kept your
truth.
shit fucking private, but you're asking us, and so I'm trying to help you and dissect it. I'm trying to be real with you, and this is how I would talk to
Okay,
my
fine.
friends.
I
If my
appreciate
friends came at me and was like, yo, I was fucking this dude, then I fucked this dude, I came back and I fucked this dude again,
Fine.
and I'm like, fuck, if you have a kid, you don't even know who it belongs to, and it's fucked up because you have all this fucking different sperm in you, and that's jacked up. That's number one. Number one, you're the one causing proactively doing this. Number two, now that you're in a situation with guy number 2 who has you on lockdown, you put yourself in a situation, and for you to not leave, that's on you. That's on you now.
Well, I mean, she also addresses that she does have self-esteem issues, and like she's pretty insecure herself because one, she went out of her way to say, hey, you know what, I don't, hey Gio, like I don't have big boobs and I don't have, you know, a nice ass, and I do have this skin condition. So she says, I already don't feel pretty. Like I feel like any guy that I get with, I'm super lucky for being with him because he wants to be with me. So she already has.
I got a question about that, because if that's really how you feel, any guy that you're with, you feel lucky, you should cherish the fuck out of guy number 2. And I don't know why you bounced off guy number 2 to go to guy number 1 and jeopardize never being able to come back to guy number 2. And guy number 2, regardless of why he took you back, he did you a huge favor.
Well, okay. So yeah, maybe I completely agree with that. But I feel like that is something that she realized because she's been with guy number 2 without talking to guy number 1 now for a year. Like that is now in the past. And I think that she brought those details into the message to say that, hey, this is what my current boyfriend is holding against me. So I think for that whole year, there hasn't been any sort of interaction between her and guy number 1. So that's why I go back to saying, yeah, okay, so yeah, you did put yourself in this situation and you pretty much did create this huge mess for yourself that you have to clean up. But I don't feel that it's right that she gets treated this way by guy number 2, even if she caused it.
That's a whole separate issue. But if you're in that position and you don't want to be in it, you should bounce. And I know you have self-esteem issues and you're like, you know what, like no dude wants to fuck me, whatever. 2 dudes fucked you already. There are guys that are attracted to you, that are turned on by you, so you don't really have a problem. You got 2 on the list. I mean, maybe you even have a guy number 3 back then. I don't know.
Right.
And
we don't know.
And when it comes down to it, like if guy number 1 is coming back at you with family issues and drug issues and like, hey, you need to help me, there's probably a lot more to you that you can offer besides ass and titties